Okay, so I'm going to build this anchor base, and the way that I'm going to do it is I'm going to use my layers from an existing assignment, which was the indexing guide here. So I have it here, um, and so r- rather than open it up and delete all the contents and rename it. You have to be careful. I've done that, and then I accidentally override the original file. So the way you would do that is essentially just create a new document, right? And so create a new document. This is in inches. It's imperial. So there we go. Um, and then what I'm going to do is uh, I'm in this drawing here, and so what I'll do is I just make sure that I'm going to save all these layers here. So I'll go to my layer states manager, and I've already named this. I'm going to go ahead and export this, make sure it's a .las, and I'm going to save over it. All right, there it's good. I close. Now my new file here, let's go ahead and just name this as my anchor base. Right, okay. Make sure I have it my anchor base. All right. And I'm just gonna go ahead and save over this. All right, so I got my anchor base. So what I'll do then is I'll come in here on my anchor base. Because of the coming in metric, it doesn't bring in the line type, because if you have a metric and it's coming from imperial, it wouldn't know the difference and you wouldn't see it. You only know if you try it out. So there it is. So now what I'll do is I'll go ahead and I'll import the layers from the indexing guide. And so I'll kind of reverse the process here, import, make sure it's a .las, and there it is. And hopefully it's all there. Yep, with the color and the line type, that's great. Okay, so while I'm here, let's just go ahead and import my template, and I have it already labeled as the same thing, and it's all right. So I'll bring that in here, and so it's this is your own, of course, and so there's my layout, and there it is. Everything looks good. Okay, so now let's start building this. So I'm going to there's a couple things. When I looked at this initially, I was thinking I could do a front view and a top view, but in order to do the front view, I actually have to build the side of this, because I have to, the only way that I know the actual height of this flat, kind of looks like an H here, is the intersection of that radius. And so I'll explain that to you as I draw this. So let's go ahead and make sure that I'm in my construction line is my active layer. And let's go ahead and build this. So I'm going to do a front view and a side view. So let's go ahead and bang this out real quick here. 0, 0. Just be very careful that when you do this, that you are doing this in increments of 90. I've made lots of mistakes, and it's just something simple where it's actually 89 degrees or something like that. All right, so let's do this. I'm going to essentially build a box. So let's just go to the offset, and this whole width is 3.5 inches. All right. There we go. Okay, 3.5 inches. Let's go and let's just get this one done. And let's do the height of this. The height, it says the total height is 2 inches plus 0.5. All right, so let's just say 2.5. All right, and then let's just pop over here, and we'll kind of do 2 at once here. So I'm going to make this 2 inches distance over here, and then the total width of this is it's actually 0.625 times 2, and I want to say that's 1.25, but just always verify what you're doing. So 0.625 times 2. All right, and sure enough, 1.25. All right, so the width here is 1.25. Okay, so that's the basic overall shape. Now let's just start building this out here. So we'll do the same thing. Offset distance, let's just go from the bottom up, I guess. The height, 0.75. And there's another height there of 0.5. And believe it or not, that's as much information as I have here. Oh, I need to do, this is actually the total height is 0.5. So be careful, I don't miss that. 0.5. Okay, so that's 0.5 and it's got that. And I think that's all the information. So I do not know the height top of that H because it's going to be below that radius. So let's see if I can figure that out. And I'll finish with a horizontal line. So the way that you would figure that out is I would essentially, in my construction line, let's just make sure that we have the center here. And then what I would do, lots of different ways to do this, but I'm kind of cheating here. I know that the radius is 1.5. So I don't know where the center is. I could probably figure it out, but you know what? I don't want to spend that much time on this. So and then the radius is 1.5. And then I'm just going to type M for move, select my object. And because I have my snap settings all done, I should be able to just move this and put that in the very top. And then let's just confirm I've got the correct radius here, radius 1.5. It's not a bad idea, just confirm everything before I get too carried away, because as you know, once you start all this and then you make a mistake, it's hard to work backwards. So let's just verify everything here. And you know, if you are, one thing that I quite often will do is I will use this and then at the end go ahead and just take these dimensions and from my construction and just plop them over. What I typically do on this is try to show the dimensions that they're showing. Largest is always the outside, and then work your way in. Just kind of some basic ones here, just to help me start building this out. And all right, I think we got the gist of this. All right, so I think we're good. So then what I would do for the construction line here is just go to my construction line. You just have to be very careful with this. And this is going to be the intersection, and then we will draw that at that 0 degree. And so what I have done then is that is the top of essentially what this H is, okay? So now I have enough information over here to build this out. So let's go ahead and let's do the horizontal lines, and then we will construct this object. So go ahead and hit the offset, and first thing I know here is that this is 0.3 if I'm working from right to left. So I'll type in 0.3. And then the next one is 0.75. And that's going to be from my right side. Okay, 0.75. And then what else do I know? I don't really know what that depth is. The only way I can figure that is draw a center line and then make that 1.25. So let's just do that. I'll make a center line here. I guess you know it's actually going to be I think it's half of 3.5. That's 1.75. But you know what? I'm going to be lazy here. Let's just go here to here. That's 3.5. And let's just draw a line down from the center of that. All right. And this is a construction line. Make sure it's at 90 degrees. I might want to just verify that just for the sake of making sure everything looks good. All right. So what I'll do is make a line here that is 1.25. So what I would do is come here. Let's just offset that. All right. Let's go ahead and offset. Probably should have just made an offset line right there. Okay. And then we'll offset that. and the distance is 0.625. Let's just do that and I'll show you what that means, how I got that, 0.625. So what I did is I took 1.25 divided by 2, if my memory serves me correctly, and there's 0.625. Okay, and that's that bottom area. And so let's just dimension it while I'm here so I don't get myself too confused. 1.25, and then I need to make this 1 inch. So I would just, you know, what I could do is just take a rectangle and just go like, well, I need to make it 1. All right, so let's offset 0.5. Okay, so again, I'm just dimensioning this for you and me, so it's just not too confusing. And that's that top half. So I think I have enough. I might be off by a couple, but I think I have enough to draw this. So I'm going to go ahead and just go to my object line, make that my active layer, and then let's just draw these lines. All right, so I think what I'll do is I'm going to start. And where is my 1.25? All right, and I'm going to actually just start here and work my way over. And that piece right there is right there. Now I'm going to draw the line going over and up, over and up. And I don't, well, I will go to the top, but I'm just going to stop here. That's actually at the H, top of that H. And then we're going to go over to that 1 inch, which is right there, come down, and then I'm going to go to the center. And then I'm going to build the bottom half. So now let's go up and over that 1.25. And let's just see here. That would go to there and to the center there. All right, so let's just turn the construction lines off and see what we've done, what damage I've done here. All right, and so I should probably throw some dimensions on here just to make myself that I'm okay. I just need to quickly inspect this. Let's add a couple more dimensions here. Just to verify that I've done this correctly, but in theory, I should be good. That's 0.5, this should be 0.3 right there, so that's good. Let's just verify all this. That should be 0.75. That's correct. See, that's that one right there. The height of this is 2 inches. I think we're good. Well, you know, we don't know that dimension, but right. So because that dimension was not given to us, it just happens to be that dimension that I just wrote. So let's just finish this off. Okay, so what I'm going to do then is let's turn the construction lines off. I am pretty confident that, and let's turn our object line as our turn it on. And so what I will do then is just go ahead and type in mirror. So this object here. Oh, you know, I forgot something. That's okay. We can do it in a second. What I forgot was this. Let's just turn it back on. I forgot the little cap here. So I need to draw the this little cap here. Okay, turn the construction line off. A lot of little lines here. And then I'll go ahead and mirror this. Delete source objects, no. And let's go ahead. So I think that's pretty much all done. And let's just build the, obviously I need the hidden lines and the center lines, but let's go ahead and do the the view on the side here. So I'm going to say offset, and this line here is 0.3. So distance is 0.3. Select this line. And I think, oh, I need the center of this circle. So it says that the center of the circle, you know what? Center of the circle is from the center. I think I'm going to just cheat here. This is from the bottom up 1.5. Let's just see where that puts us. Let's do that again. So you got to be really careful. Let's put a construction line on there. Let's go ahead and do that. So essentially what it's saying is if I do the offset from this, it's 1.5. So let's type in 1.5. You just got to be careful that you're grabbing the right line from the very bottom here. It's going to be 1.5. Enter. Oh, sorry. Okay. So, and then the center line here, all these lines, and it's 0.625 to the center, 0.625. Okay, so that means that hole right there is going to be, and it's a diameter, circle diameter, is going to be, I hope that's right. I think that's right. I should dimension it. And we said that the diameter is 0.5. All right, and let's just check the, looks right. So let's just go ahead. What I'm going to do is just, we're in the construction line here. So I'm going to build this side view here. And let's start this top. And we'll come down to the bottom. We'll come over. Okay, and what I will do is let's take this layer and move it to the object line. And let's turn the construction layer off. And then let's just trim that. Trim. Cool. All right, so I think that is the gist of this. I need to put this hole here, the center line. I can figure that out. So let's do that. Just trying to think if I'm missing anything. I think I have everything. Just trying to do a quick little inspection. So let's just add the couple more lines here. So I'm going to add the hidden lines for some of these. So let's go to construction, turn that on. Let's just make some of these lines. And I'm going to cheat a little bit. And what I mean by that is I'll go to the construction line. I'll go to the top here and bring that over. All right, let's get our construction as our current layer. So for example, what that would be, if I was going to draw these lines here, I think I'll do them all at once. I also need a line here. So this is going to be a diameter of 0.375. And you know, I could just do something like this if I wanted to. 0.375, because I don't want to divide that by 2. And then take my construction line here. I will verify all this. All right, so that's going to be my hidden line and my center line, and I need to do the same on this front view. It's 0.375. 0.375 in. So let's make a line that's 0.375 in. So offset 0.375. And that's going to be this line, the circle, and I'm going to do exactly the same thing. I think it's the faster way of doing it. Diameter 0.375. Enter. And then let's make construction line. Okay, so why don't we just mirror that? And then I'm going to draw my hidden lines and my center lines. Okay. And so I will confirm all my dimensions. I'll check everything, but I just have to trust what I've been doing is right. Okay, so now I'm going to make, let's make my hidden lines. So let's, it might just be easier just so you can see what I'm doing. Let's turn on the hidden lines, make that my active layer, and then draw these hidden lines. All right, so this one over here, I just come over. So if I just push enter on my keyboard, it should activate the last command. Then the vertical ones. I recommend that you take your time, and I'm going rather quickly, even though it feels like it's taking forever. Okay, and then let's draw some center lines in here. So let's go here to my center line, make that my active layer. For kicks, why don't we just turn off the construction line so we can see where we are. All right, so everything looks okay. Now let's draw these center lines. So I typically go to the center. I come out, and I typically do it somewhat arbitrarily. Uh-oh. Make sure the line is showing as a center. I might need to pick a different one because that's not seeing the center of that. Let's see, what I would do then if I was like, that's just, I need a smaller one here. I would go to my center line, go to my line type. Let's see, center 0.5. Let's see if that works. Okay. There. Okay. So again, that's the nice thing about layers is it just has a lot more options for you. All right. So there's one. I want to make more, obviously, here. So whenever you're drawing a center line, obviously you have to go through the part that has the hole in it. Why is that not? Okay, let's turn the, all right, a couple more to go here. There it is, okay. Okay, let's, oh, where'd it go there? All right, let's just mirror this, M-I-R-R-O-R. I know you all know how to spell mirror. Okay, a couple more I need. So let's go to my dimensions, center mark. Cool. I think I've got most of it. Now it's just a matter of dimensioning everything, kind of verifying. There's a lot of dimensions in here. So let's go to what I could do is turn my construction line off. If I want, I can just, I have a lot of dimensions here anyway. I could use these as a place to start. And I'll just put this into my dimensions. Let's turn my construction line off. Dimensions on as my active layer. Okay, and then I'll just clean all this up. Okay, so then what I need to do is let's just get the tolerances right, and then let's import this into my template format, dimension style. We're going to have to fix one of them, a couple of them. Let's just go to modify. Let's do, yeah, they're kind of a bunch of different ones. So I can fix all that later. Right. All right. So obviously then I need to put the dimensions where they need. So all I'm going to do is try to show the dimensions that it has shown us. If you notice it doesn't show some dimensions, that's okay. So we don't need to show dimensions that it's not providing. All right. So what we would do then is, I'm not going to dimension all this. It's going to take me a while here. Let's go in and just verify. Let's get a couple more dimensions and then we'll maybe call this a day here. So so typically you never dimension hidden lines, right? So if I was to go here and dimension, this is incorrect. If I was to come here and say, oh, there's my dimension 0.38, 0.375, that's actually not accurate. So there's two ways you would do it: is have a top view or you would create a section view, right? Because you never dimension to hidden lines. You can dimension to center lines, but you never do that. So 0.5, 0.375, yeah, so I can't even say that typical, but I think you get the idea here. So 2 inches. I'm just want to show the same dimensions that the drawing's showing. Does it show 2.5? No, we deduce that, so that's okay. 0.5. All right, I'm just going to get as much as I can without going crazy here. All right. you actually wouldn't do it like this. You would actually have the overall dimension, and then you would skip one of these, but that's okay. All right, so let's pretend all our dimensions are there. And I'm happy. Let's go to the layout mode here. Type in viewport by EW, viewports. Enter, single, 2D, okay. Snap that here. And I notice that this is kind of, I want to put this on my title block. All right. Oh, I do it here, sorry. And then let's figure out the scale here. So right now the scale is at, let's see what it is. 1:1 sounds good. So, you know, if you were an architect, you would actually go 1 inch equals 1 inch, right? It's the same thing. So let's say you were doing it in that mode. One of the tricks you might do in the scale here is just go here to your scale, and rather than have to type all that in, go to custom, find the dimension you want. 1 inch equals 1 inch. And so edit, and just right click and say copy, and just cancel that out. And then go into your scale here. And actually I need to put a space in here, and I would put this in here, right? So, and then Control V, and then change this overall scale here. And so I would spend some time on your own. Let's say 0.15 and see what happens here. Okay, and make sure you got enough room here. All right, I think you get the idea. Okay, so there we go. All right, so that's basically the gist of this. And I would print this out, so I've got it to scale. And you know, things you could do, for example, I noticed that the overall line is not thick enough, and here there's some issues going on. So I might want to go into my, you know, if you've got issues like that, just clean it up here before you print it. It's always nice to do a on your for your PDF, just verify things before you print it. Oh. And I probably want my part line to be a little thicker, the object line. So I do the object line real quick here. All right. And then it might be a little too, but we get the idea. All right. Then I would print it out and be good to go. So just verify everything, and you're done. All right. So sorry it took so long, but I think we get the idea here. So the only thing that we didn't do was one of the circles dimensioning, because we'd actually need a top view to do that. All right. So that's it.